Hey, how you doing, folks? Chris Harris here, bringing you another episode of Buck Sweet Sports Podcast, presented to you by 810 Studios Network. Please be sure to swing by the 810 Studios social media pages, check out all the great programs, bunch of great people, bring you a lot of awesome content. So, yeah, be sure to give the page a follow, share the videos, like the videos, check them out. Just great content. Please be sure to swing by Buckley Sports Podcast Facebook page. Give us a like and follow. Slowly creeping up on 1,000 followers. So, like I said, man, I really appreciate everybody and following the page at the beginning and checking out the videos each week. I really appreciate it. On today's episode, we're going to get into the NFL playoffs, wild card weekend, talking about some of the games, the results. Uh, One big, huge disappointment for a certain fan base. We'll get into it. Talk about a brief recap of Clinton High men and women's basketball game this past week, and a little talk about North Carolina Tar Heel basketball moving up to number 4 in the most recent poll after a couple big wins this week. So we'll go ahead and get started. First off, let me address something, man. I know there's been a lot of talk this week about the situation or the future of Clinton Dark Horse football. Head coach Corey Johnson. And let me just go ahead and say this: that I love Clinton Dark Horse football. That's the whole reason why I started doing this podcast and doing this content. And you could, like I said, you could love something, but I mean, if you see someone you know leaning down the wrong path and making a bad decision, you're gonna call. I mean, I think it's your if you really care about something, it's your duty to call it out and bring some attention to it. And what I'm hearing and what's going on and what's possibly coming to pass in Clinton. I mean, it's just not right. Um, I feel like if Clinton was not able, to do whatever they had in their power to try to retain Corey Johnson and simply just let him walk would be a huge mistake. And I mean, you just look at what he's done on and off the field. Most importantly, and honestly, a small percentage of this is, on the field stuff. I feel like you'll lose a football coach, but I mean you'll lose a mentor and somebody that's done great things in the community and been like I said, been a great mentor to these young people. That's gonna hurt even worse. So at the end of the day, I feel like the powers that be are too busy, looking at the numbers and not totally looking at the impact. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be about the kids, right? I mean, so I'm not a I'm not being no puppet. No one's feeding me anything. No one's paying me to say anything. This is how I feel. I do my own research. I have my own thoughts and opinions, and this is how I feel about this. Now, others may not share my opinion, and that's fine. I'm just saying, you look at what he's done on the field, you look at what he's done off the field, and you're trying to tell me that this man doesn't deserve, you know, the doesn't deserve this. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not anything unreasonable that we couldn't provide. You know, like I said, you're doing the job. You've been doing the job for 6 years, and you're doing it at the highest level. You're going to expect some compensation. You're not going to want to be paid the same as you were day one, and here you are 6 years later, and you're not coming to work. And you're not half-assing your job. You're putting it all into it. I mean, like I said, the proof is on the field, man. You see how these young men have progressed. You see the opportunities they're getting. You see how the teams excel. You see how the program has been taken to the next level. And let's be honest, Bob Lewis didn't lead this program in a good position. So Corey Johnson came in here and put the work in. So he definitely deserves anything that he's asking. And that's just being real. So I mean, if you feel like I'm being overly negative or I'm putting one man above the whole football program, I mean that's your opinion. But the powers that be, you know, are enamored with somebody that they want to bring someone, possibly want to bring someone in here that has done absolutely nothing since he's become a head coach. And you could give me, well, the talent around him is if you're a good football coach, you develop. I mean, eventually you develop talent. You know, when you start coaching in 2016, the team shouldn't look the same in 2016 as here we are in 2023, and there's like you haven't built, you haven't established any type of culture. You're not building anything. You're the same record or worse every year. I mean, come on. If you're going to replace Corey Johnson, if you're going to replace a stud, at least have, I mean, at least have someone that's on the same level. That's all I'm saying. But I'm gonna get away from that. But like I said, hopefully by the time this video comes out, I'll have a little bit more information and some clarification on some things. But like I said, right now it's a lot of just rumor and hearsay, and like I said, a lot of stuff I'm hearing hasn't really been good. But moving on, we'll talk about clear hot basketball. Clear hot basketball. I told you last week the boys had a game against East Duplin and I had to score for, but that score ended up being a 37-24 Clinton victory. So they went into the game last week against Union at 5-2. Boys came out victorious over Union. The score is 62-19. Next time they're in action, they will, for their conference, they'll be their conference opener against West Blade, and it was scheduled for Friday. Got rescheduled, so it's now being played Tuesday, the 16th, and that's going to be at West Blade. So, be sure to go out there and support the boys basketball team. Like I said, they're currently 62, playing their conference opener against a really tough West Blade team. And checking on the girls, lost a tough, tough matchup to Union by the score of 49-47. Didn't get to watch the game, but I was kind of following some updates online. It seemed like they were really going back and forth. It looked like Union's got a pretty talented basketball team. So congratulations to them on the win. For the Clinton girls, that will bring them to a record of 62, and just like the boys, they have their conference opener against West Bladen, and they'll be playing that tomorrow, the 16th, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock. So, like I said, go out there, support both men's and women's basketball teams. Off to a great start, getting into conference play now. So this is really where these games really start to count as far as trying to contend for conference championships and get into that playoff, improve those playoff seasons. So really proud of both of those teams. Moving on, talk a little bit about we had some all state selections that were announced over the last week since I last did the episode. Jakarion Keenan, junior DB and wide receiver, he was named to the third team high school OT all-state team for two-way players. Josiah McLaurin was named to the third team offensive high school OT team. Morris Williams was named first team defense. And we had Alex Evans. He was named to the third team, the all-state defense. So congratulations to those four all-state players on a two-way team. That's definitely just shows the type of season we had and just the work of those individuals, those players. So congratulations to all of them. Yeah, definitely a special group that we had this past season. And let me also get into. I also had we pretty much swept the conference. Pretty much all the major awards for the SAC 6 conference. Let me just pull that up right here. Of course, conference player of the year was senior defensive lineman / running back Amari Williams. Conference offensive player of the year was Josiah McLaurin, running back / wide receiver. Conference defensive player of the year, Alex Evans. And of course, Clinton won the conference championship. So just congratulations to them. I know they have their athletic banquet either this week or this past week. So by the time my next video comes out, I'll probably have more information on that. But I mean, just a great season for the football team, obviously. So now postseason, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of acknowledgments, a lot of awards, and the kids earned it, man. So congratulations to them, congratulations to the parents. Just like I said, just overall great season, man. Great special football team. Uh, gonna get into a little bit of North Carolina Tar Heel basketball, man. Sorry to my NC State fans out there. Look, we had to get y'all back. We had to get y'all back, man. Y'all beat up on us pretty bad in football, so I'm glad to see us take this first game in basketball. Pretty competitive game for the most part. Um, really kind of back and forth. UNC was able to kind of take control late in the second half and pull away to a 67-54 victory. Um, Big thing about this Tar team this year that I'm noticing is just like they've been talking about, man. Their defense is like off its charts, man. When you could score like we normally score and play that tough, Tony Bennett UVA type defense. I mean, holding teams to around 54, 55 points a game. I mean, that's going to be big, especially going forward into February and to March Madness. But I mean, just love the energy we're playing with, love the chemistry we're playing with. Elliot Cadeau, man. Me being selfish, I'm sitting here hoping, maybe, stays an extra year, maybe feels like he won't be ready, because he's had his moments, being a freshman or whatever. But man, he made this pass to, and I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it on the highlights. This pass off the pick and roll to Armando, where it just defied physics, man. And I mean, he's just going to keep on getting better and better. I mean, just a pure point guard. That's the type of play we needed, man. Um, Harrison Ingram's been huge. Of course, Armando and RJ, they're a Wood and Award type, players, so they're doing their thing. It's just really as a Carolina fan, last year was rough because we coming off that national championship appearance, you're really expected to see like what you're saying right now. You expected that last year. You expected them to hit the ground running and just destroy everyone, and just didn't. Something was just off with that team last year. But it seems like I mean, right now, knock on wood, I mean, it looks like a total 360, man. They look focused, they look ready. And that's what you want to see coming into conference play. Currently, we're sitting at 13-3, 5-0 in the ACC, playing some really good basketball. You just want to keep on seeing them build and build and build on that. After the NC State game Saturday, hosted Syracuse at home. And like I said, man, they just really they're rolling right now. I mean, just game was never in doubt. Destroyed Syracuse 103-67. And like I said, we had a couple top teams lose this past week. So for Carolina, winning their games, winning in the fashion that they won, moved up to number 4 in the latest AP poll. So you just want to see them continue to play good basketball, man. And credit to Hubert Davis, man. A lot of people came down on Hubert over the last year or so. But I mean, Hubert's doing a great job coaching these guys, and the team's playing, the team's responding well to him. So congratulations to him, man. For this week, we got Louisville coming up on Wednesday nights, and this Saturday they will travel up to take on Boston College. So just want to see them continue to play well. Got a 6-game winning streak. Just want to keep on building on it. All right, for now, what y'all been probably waiting for, and what everyone's probably been glued to their TVs this past weekend. Wild card weekend, had playoff games Saturday, Sunday, and Monday night, which is why I'm kind of getting this episode out kind of late. Want to see all the results, but start off Saturday, man. Saturday, and like I said, I got to give this team, this got to be my team of the year so far, man, because of the turnaround. They went from picking number two in the draft. And here they are, division champ, 10-win season, and now they, done one of our wild card game. That's why I got my background NRG Stadium. Shout out to the Houston Texans, Houston, C.J. Stroud, Marco Ryan. Man, they, like I said, they're hot right now. They made a total turnaround from last season. No, you don't really see that too often with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. So shout out to them. They pretty much destroyed the Cleveland Browns in their matchup 45-14. Uh, just like I said, just great game for the rookie quarterback, man. I said I'm a CJ Stroud fan, man. I'm rooting for him. He's doing his thing. So many people talk trash about Ohio State quarterbacks, making it seem like, oh yeah, you draft an Ohio State quarterback, they're automatically gonna be a bust. But CJ, he's blowing those stereotypes out the water, man. I knew he was going to be tough when I saw him, at Ohio State. He went against that Georgia defense, and I mean, if it wasn't for the kicker, Ohio State wins that game, it probably wins the national championship. Yeah, shout out to C.J. Stroud, people Texans. They'll be taking on the Baltimore Ravens next week, so that's going to be a really great game. I mean, Lamar Jackson MVP season. I mean, C.J. Stroud probably your rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. So it's definitely a great matchup between those two teams next week. Next game, staying with the AFC, we had the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Ooh, I mean, if you were a fan of cold weather, man, they said that was the fourth coldest NFL game ever. So, I mean, I think they were out there playing in I think it was like around -25 with the wind chill. I think actually it was like -10, but with the wind chill, like around -25, -30. It did not look comfortable at all. So, I mean, if you were a fan and you were out there, man, props to you. But Kansas City uh, really played well. Miami could really never could really get it together. Chiefs ended up winning 26-7. So moving on to next games. Rams and the Lions. That was a really good game. Matt Stafford making that return to Detroit where he played so many years. Jared Goff and his, I guess, revenge game. Lions, another team, man. Shout out to my boy Cruz, man. I don't know too many Detroit Lion fans. Met him in the Air Force, diehard Detroit Lion fan. Had to go through so much pain all them years. I mean, they haven't won a playoff game since 1992. So, so shout out to them, man. Lions fans, y'all finally got y'all one. Come away with the 24-23 victory over the Rams. I like Detroit, man. Dan Campbell, everything I've seen from him, he's a great coach. Really a big fan of their offensive coordinator. Hope he's in Charlotte next season. um, and I mean they had a great draft. Those rookies that they drafted, and that collection of talent they've been acquiring over the last couple of years, it finally all came together for them. So, I mean, I'm happy for Detroit, man. Like I said, Detroit Lion fans got to be faithful, man. It's been a long time. So shout out to them. They'll be taking on the winner of this game tonight that I just finished watching, Tampa Bay and Philly, which Tampa Bay ended up coming away with the victory 30-9. Talk about Philly real quick, man. Philly, coming off that Super Bowl loss where they was, really close to Kansas City last season, and start off the season hot with that 10-1 start, and the acquisitions they made in the offseason and the draft, guys that got in the draft, and you just thinking, okay, yeah, there's a done deal that Philly's gonna be back, and just a classic. Just peaking too early, man. I feel like I seen something similar happened with Pittsburgh a couple years ago where they started off 11-0, 12-0, and then just kind of flamed out towards the end of the season, man. But I don't know if it was a late Super Bowl hangover or just the chemistry wasn't there or just, the compounding injuries. I know they talked about Jalen Hurts playing hurt for most of the season. AJ Brown being banged up, guys on the defense being banged up. But the last half of the season, man, they just didn't have that chemistry and just didn't have that fire. And sure enough, fall in the wild card round. But next week it'll be Tampa Bay and Detroit, so that'll be a good game. If I had to pick, man, I'm gonna have to go with Detroit, man. I'm down here in the Tampa Bay area, so yeah, I ain't gonna. Yeah, these fans around here, man, they're pretty serious. But I'm gonna have to go with Detroit next week. Like I said, I'm a fan of Dan Campbell. I'm a fan of Ben Johnson. And I feel like they got it clicking right now. I feel like they definitely have what it takes to take Tampa Bay. But man, shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. A lot of people count Baker Mayfield out. I'm one of them, so I definitely got to eat my words. Baker, he's been doing his thing, and I feel like I guess he really found the right fit for him. And it's got to be tough following in the footsteps of somebody like Tom Brady, but Baker Mayfield's doing his thing. Another game. Shout out to my boy Tommy Lee. Tough loss for his Steelers earlier today. The game had got moved because they had something like 40 inches of snow in that area over the weekend. So they were actually paying fans $20 an hour to help shovel snow in the stadium. So yeah, and man, I mean I saw pictures of fans trying to get to their seats during the game. I mean it was. I mean that was that lake effect snow up there is crazy, but. Buffalo came away with the victory 31-17. Josh Allen played a great game. It was one of those games that you really felt like I was never really in doubt. So Buffalo and Kansas City next week, divisional round. This time, the KC, Patrick Mahomes, they got to come to Buffalo. So that's definitely going to be a great game. Those two, feel like they bump heads in the playoffs every other year. So definitely going to be a great game. Now the game that everybody was talking about this weekend, man. Look, I got no, I got no problem with the Cowboys, man. I don't have, they're the fan base. They're a passionate group. I mean, man, that pain has got to be, oh, because I mean, y'all have had great teams over the last couple of years. It just seems like as soon as y'all get to the playoffs, and I'm not gonna put it all on Dak Prescott, man. He did not play up to what he needed to play, but all the defense was just MIA, and Jordan Love and Green Bay, they just picked him apart. It was methodical, and it was just Matt LaFleur, man. Matt LaFleur, called a hell of a game. Jordan Love really, I guess that's Jordan Love's real, coming out party. And shout out to my dad. My dad is a huge Green Bay Packers fan. He's been iffy and kind of off and on this season. And I was telling him, I was like, look, man, y'all just got to make it to the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. I mean, how many times have we seen wild card teams, make it all the way to the Super Bowl? Not saying Green Bay's making it all the way to the Super Bowl, but like I said, you can't count nobody out. And I saw the matchup with Dallas, and I was telling him, I'm like, hey, man, I mean, y'all got Dallas in the playoffs. I mean, you see how they've been the last couple of years. But I mean, I'm really happy for him. So shout out to him. Um, yeah, Green Bay was able to come away with 48-32 victory, and I mean, just the pain of the Cowboy fans, man. You can see it all over social media. Um, one of a good friend of guy, one of the guys from the fantasy football group. He's a big Cowboy fan. I mean, I like I said, I don't have any ill will against any Cowboy fans, so I really don't try to down them too bad. But the stuff on social media, it was I ain't gonna lie, it was funny. Some of the memes and stuff that were coming out. Stephen A. Smith doing his thing. I mean, it like I said, it's got to be exhausting. And trust me, I know. I mean, look, I don't. Somebody asked the question: would you rather your team losing the wild card or the divisional playoff every other year, or would you rather have the team just not make playoffs, period? and that's hard to say, man. One thing I can say about Dallas fans, at least between August and January, y'all are enjoying yourselves. We can't, us Carolina Panther fans can't say that. We were sitting there praying, ready for the season to be over with. But yeah, Dallas, yeah, it's got to be tough, man. Dak Prescott, I know a lot of people are probably expecting him to possibly be moved on from. Um, Mike McCarthy, I mean, it just makes it that 10 times worse that it was his former team that did it, pretty much did it to him. So, I know there's been rumors of them, possibly being linked to Bill Belichick. We'll see how that goes. But I mean, it really wasn't so much Dallas offense, man. The defense just really, and a defense that's been good pretty much for the majority of the season, simply just didn't show up. I mean, at all. I mean, Michael Parsons, as good a player as he is, just was non-existent. I mean, the guys in the secondary. I mean, it was just like I said, Jordan Love. I mean, it was pitch and catch a lot of plays. The touchdown pass to off the play action Kraft on the wheel route. I mean, perfection, man. Like I said, I got to give it to the Green Bay offensive coordinator Matt LaFleur. I mean, they dialed up a great game plan. They really stuck it down. And what I was telling one of the guys I talked to, man, it just felt like Dallas was one of the playoff teams that really pretty much had the most pressure on them because of past performances, because of the way the expectations of the fan base, because of the expectations of people in the media, and they played like it. They played really uptight and just not relaxed. Meanwhile, it's Green Bay really came out there like just like that's why I say everyone loves an underdog. Everyone loves to play that underdog role. No pressure, you know, no one's giving us a chance. We're we're just we're just here. And they played relaxed. They played with not like they had nothing to lose. Whereas, like I said, Dallas just really played. They just were. It just seemed like they were really uptight. And I mean, that just showed in the results of the game. So, I mean, that's just how it goes. So Green Bay moves on. They will be taking on San Fran next week, and that's going to be a great game. A lot of real, just a lot of real nostalgia from the '90s and 2000s when you see you got a divisional playoff game, Green Bay versus San Fran. So should be a great game there. Pretty much all my playoff wrap up. If I had to do picks for next week, Houston and Baltimore. Like I said, man, I love what the Texans have done. Um, Look, like I said, I'm really like I said a big fan of CJ Stroud, but Lamar Jackson, man, it's his time. I feel like he really needs this. Um, you know, all with the MVP, talk and expectation. I mean, one thing that the critics do have against him is his lack of playoff success. So I mean, I think he really needs this one. But Baltimore really needs to take a lesson from Dallas. You can't come out there, all uptight and folding under that pressure. You gotta, just play the game. Pretty much play what you got, do what got you there. So if I had to pick now, I'm gonna take Baltimore. Like I said, I like both. I like both teams, but I'm Lamar Jackson. I really think he needs this one. Kansas City and Buffalo. Buffalo's lost a lot of tough ones to Kansas City, and I know people are talking about this is starting to kind of look like Kansas City kind of been kind of off this year, but they're kind of starting to look more like themselves. And I agree, but I mean I feel like Buffalo's lost a lot of tough ones to them, and I feel like they really they got to get that that monkey off their back. Playing at home this year, I feel like this is the year. If they're going to get them, this is going to be this year. So I'm gonna take Buffalo on that one. So my AFC Championship, excuse me, it's gonna be Buffalo and Baltimore. The NFC side, Tampa Bay, Detroit. I'm gonna go with Detroit. Like I said, I like what they're doing. Like that, Cam, like Ben Johnson. I feel like they definitely got what it takes to make to the NFC Championship game. maybe beyond. We'll see. Um, Green Bay and San Fran. Uh, you know, like I said, I love my dad. My dad's a big Green Bay fan. One of my cousins, man, my cousin, he pretty much like a brother to me. He's a big San Fran fan, so I'm kind of torn, man. Uh, I feel like it's definitely San Fran had a pretty nasty taste in their mouth after the way last season ended with their injuries to the quarterback and losing in the NFC Championship game the way they did. And I feel like they've really been on a mission this year. They've been one of the best teams in football, period, throughout the season. So many weapons. Uh, I love what Green Bay's done, but I feel like just San Fran's gonna be a little bit too much for them. So I'll take San Fran. So I got San Fran versus Detroit for my NFC Championship game. Like I said, Baltimore and Buffalo for my AFC Championship game. So we'll see how it turns out, man. I'll definitely be talking about it on the show next week. With that, man, I'm gonna start wrapping things up. Once again, like I said, man, I appreciate all the support. Uh, let's go ahead. Come on, push me through 1,000 1,000 followers on the the Buckwheat Sports Facebook page. Appreciate all any support I get. Like I said, please continue to support A10 Studios, all the great programs they have. A lot of good people doing a lot of good things, great content. Definitely check them out. Hope everyone has a great week. Appreciate everyone for listening. Chris Harris, Buckwheat Sports Podcast. Y'all have a great night.